Dark Crystal is on, and I'm trying to send messages to my son because there's no real reason why he should be avoiding me at all or not talking to me. His whole timeline of stuff that happened between me and his mom's all fucked up by his mom. Like, he's mad about stuff that happened before the last time that they came here, which was like over 7 years ago. 9 now. And that's a big ass gap. But I mean, if with your kids, you're not gonna, if there's a gap, you're gonna try to fill it. You're gonna try to make them aware and see that their accounting of things is wrong. Now, what I experienced in this event, see, and you have to realize that although I still love my ex, I got to the point where she totally lied on the stand on me and like colluded with the cops. And all you'd have to do is go back and look at the court case, which I don't even know how you could do that. I'm sure you could. They probably have transcriptions, but she just lied and they coaxed her on her story. So whatever he believes, it's based on that. And that had already happened when he was here, like years before. So she's got him so messed up on the facts, and there's just no place. Like when you're dealing with someone that's a narcissist, they don't have any place for you, and they're not going to be helpful to you at all when they're done, when they don't have a use they can get out of you. So, although she knows I'm not a bad person, and although she still has love for me, she can't show it in the way that a normal person would do that. So, I've tried to tell him, I was like, your timeline's fucked up. And I sent him some pictures, and I see that he gets them. So, that's really all that I know to do. But I don't want to lose a relationship with one of my sons, or even both of them, behind a woman when it's just not, it's not necessary. Do I think her marriage is going to go over? No, I don't think it'll last half as long as ours did, because there's going to be a point in time when her true character is going to come out, and it's going to rock the boat. And another guy's not going to be, he's probably not going to want anything to do with that. The worst thing in the world is having somebody mess with your relationship with your kids. And even worse than that is when it's one of the other parents. And for no reason. I owe her a lot of child support, but for the past years, she's gotten a check every 2 weeks. She's gotten half of all the money that I made. So it's not like she can't even say that she's not got child support, because she has. And although I trusted wrongly in her to, keep us communicating, I still hold hope for my son to realize, I'm like, you're throwing away your dad for no reason. I was like, your timeline's all fucked up. You're mad about things that are all fucking wrong. Your timeline's all wrong. It's just ridiculous, to have someone do that with your kids, to where you can't even talk to them on your own afterwards, and they don't even know who you are. It's just as bad as having your kids taken away from you. After I won my case and got out of there, I was shell shocked from her for a long time, just because of the way that she had did me. Because she was just always so petty, vindictive in the way that she dealt with my kids. And I'm not saying that what I did was right, because, at the time I would have done something differently. But there's a big wrong in the whole thing, because the story and the event didn't even happen the way that they tried to play it like it happened. It didn't happen anyway like that at all. And then the cops, when they arrested me, they came over to my mom's house, which is not in their jurisdiction, and arrested me by coming in the house and tasering me while I was on the floor asleep. Then they charged me with fighting with the cops to give me the charge for tasering me. That was their reason. So they already tasered me while I was asleep and tried to say I was fighting with the cops, which I didn't. I never got into a fight with a cop, ever. And now I have that as one of my charges, when I didn't do anything to them. They tasered me while I was asleep at my mother's house. So it was a big injustice, and this is partly why I say this is some of the stuff that you have to encounter when you're dealing with MK Ultra. Because MK Ultra families, MK Ultra programming, it's not about the family, and it's not about the truth. It's about getting people to go with the program. they've always helped her. They've always helped her lie, more than they do with just a woman. Because first off, she was always trying to fight. She would always try to fight with you and get you in a position where she would have some mark or something on her. Then she would call the cops. And her whole family set her up in such a way as to back her up. But they were like all MK Ultra programmed, all of them, military mixed in with them, and they're just so weird how they have the other personalities. So a real desire to teach some of this that I've learned to my own sons to let them know the way the world is before they get to find out for themselves. Someone that lies and raises in lieu of the abuse that they do with the programming, they're not going to be able to prepare those children for the world, at least the world that I know, from being not woke, but awakened and aware of how the system works, how the fucking evil in the world manifests, and how you can steer clear or steer right into it. You can pal up, you can join the fucking club if you want, but as somebody that has children and is disconnected with them due to someone else, I mean, I really didn't have an option for finding them. I had to wait. And 1 year turned to two, turned to three. And when you only have their parents to send word and they don't, at least that's what she says. I don't believe her anymore, though. Now that I've processed that into myself, I don't believe that. Better not. I don't. And the behavior, the way that my son's acting by just ghosting me, he didn't say he wasn't going to talk to me. I can see he reads my messages. He hasn't blocked me. So if you're in a situation like that and you at least have the messages that show messages, then hold with that and be faithful that something will happen and will align as it should. Because you have your material problems in life and then you have your spiritual wounds that need to be healed, because until they're healed, you don't grow the right way. And having him communicating back and forth was enough to start to heal some of the wounds that are there in the right way. And it's not something that I'm going to just give up on. But it was very hard to do that because you keep in mind, I couldn't even get her to give me a picture of the kids when they're grown. I don't have any idea what they look like now. I don't have a clue. I would have to guess. I would have to facial reconstruct. And that's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. And if you're dealing with bullshit like that, like I know one of Mission Control's friends, Bleak Narratives, I know that you're going through that. So I sympathize. Hell, I don't just sympathize. I'm going to pray with you. I'm going to ask for healing. I'm going to ask for restoration of the spirit that is able and equipped to connect and clear, to make inroads where only human savvy and bullshit requests as of yet have made. Because I'm dealing with something working against me that's it's not at all accommodating to any sort of healing or growth. It's more like a cancer. And I wish that cancer to be cleared. I wish that cancer to be cleared in myself and others that are experiencing that, because I think it's time. I think it's time for the light to come in and fucking do what the light does. And I don't have a problem going through the tears and through the pain of doing it, but it needs to be done, and it can't be done alone, not correctly, not when you have children out there that still need their dad and still have a dad. Think of all the dads that don't want nothing to do with their kids. And basically mine's capitalized on me for financial reasons, because she was going to make the ultimate use of me while trying to be married, while not trying to be married, not being faithful, telling me shit like her sex life was her own business and stuff like that was insustainable to a fucking relationship under the context of marriage. Do you want to be separate and do your thing? Then that's fine. You could have done that. You should have done that on your own fucking early on. But dragging it out and then having me to heal my spiritual wounds from it while you just jump with someone else and get married, that's not mature. And that's the state of a lot of the women that we're dealing with, because their values are warped in a lot of this programming shit. I wasn't a man that told her what she had to do and controlled her or anything like that. She went out of her way to be unfaithful on her own. She wasn't trapped. She wasn't stopped from doing anything that she does. So it's a slap in the face to be in a state like that and have to deal with it when, there's still plenty of time to fucking heal because the time is now. That's all I got.